Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having an incredible day. In very interesting news, the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, or the CFTC, has cleared Bitcoin derivatives producer LedgerX to offer physically settled Bitcoin futures contracts. The CFTC said on Tuesday it had approved Ledger's application for a designated contract market, or DCM, license, meaning the company can now offer the new futures contracts. LedgerX is the second company to receive approval to offer physically settled Bitcoin futures. Other firms such as the Intercontinental Exchange is backed. Seed, CX, and RSX plan to enter this market as well. While Bakkt's own futures contracts have been self-certified, the firm is waiting for the New York Department of Financial Services to license its warehouse. Unlike the cash-settled Bitcoin futures listed by the Chicago Exchange CBOE and CME, in physical settled futures, the buyer receives the underlying commodity when a contract expires rather than the fiat equivalent, which means people will be sending Bitcoin back and forth during these futures contracts. It is incredible. Monday's approval means that the New York-based LedgerX can not only list these Bitcoin futures contracts, but crucially can offer its product to retail clients, not just institutional ones, meaning that everyday normal people off the street can also take part in these physically settled Bitcoin futures. No timeline was provided for when LedgerX might start to offer futures, but Chief Operating and Risk Officer Jutika Chu told CoinDesk that the company was looking to be the first provider of this product in the United States. They said, "There's no doubt that we're looking to be the first. We're looking to be the incumbent. We think we're better positioned, and we want to be there to serve customers of all sizes." LedgerX would follow the same self-certification process it underwent to offer swaps and options, Chu said, adding, "Not really that important. The important part here is," here's the actual article from 15th of April, 2019, where LedgerX had revealed that they were even trying to offer physically settled Bitcoin futures. And the most important part is that they were trying to beat Bakkt to be able to do so. If I am not mistaken, I couldn't find the explicit information, but I'm more than certain the people from LedgerX put in a bid to the CFTC to offer physically settled Bitcoin futures around 3 days before the people from the New York Stock Exchange had also put in their notification or whatever to the CFTC to be able to do this as well. Which could mean, first of all, shocking, one, that they were actually approved for this. It's actually incredibly major that this is actually going to be a real thing now. If the 3-day thing is correct, because I remember hearing about LedgerX doing it, and then I remember the people from Bakkt made it into the news when they were trying to do theirs, and it said in that, like the other article, it was like, yeah, and also the people from LedgerX are also trying to do it as well. LedgerX has got it. They've been approved, which would mean I dare not say by Friday, maybe even sometime next week, we could get proper confirmation, because the thing that apparently has been holding back the people from the New York Stock Exchange from launching their physically settled Bitcoin futures product, there we go, was the CFTC. And logic has it, if the CFTC approved the LedgerX, which is not as old and as well known as the New York Stock Exchange, that one could probably assume that the New York Stock Exchange is probably also going to get verification and or a thumbs up from the CFTC to be able to do this as well. It's incredible. Like, first of all, I didn't think LedgerX was going to get it, and I assumed we were going to have another bit of an SEC situation where the SEC kind of just doesn't do anything, and it takes about a good 2.5, 3 years for things to kind of get going. But yeah, LedgerX has been approved. Let's hope no one knows that the people from the New York Stock Exchange are also going to get approved, and it would be nice by the end of this week if we had confirmation that they had also gotten the yes from the CFTC. And without further ado, yeah, let's move on. Next up, in Russia, fraudsters rarely use cryptocurrency to withdraw stolen money, according to the country's central bank. The news was reported by the local news outlet TASS on the 21st of June. The first deputy director of the Information Security Department of the Bank of Russia, Artem Sichev, told TASS that the central bank monitors methods of withdrawing funds and develops additional protective measures. Per the bank, criminals prefer to cash stolen money out rather than withdraw them with digital currency. Sychev said, in the Russian Federation, this, withdrawing of stolen funds with crypto, is rarely ever used yet. Sometimes cryptocurrencies are used to withdraw funds, but now it is not widespread because it is much easier for an attacker to get cash, end quote. Sychev added that fraudsters use a bank card to withdraw stolen money. That's stupid. However, not more than 2 to 4 times, at which point they subsequently get rid of it. Okay, that makes sense. Sychev continued, it is not important what technology will be developed in the future, artificial intelligence or robotization. It is more important for us to understand what technologies and methods an attacker can use, not only for an attack, but also for withdrawing money. And keeps on talking about attacking. While not the most amazing news story in the entire world, the point is that a lot of governments are now coming forward with this type of information, or rather, the central banks around the world are understanding or finally coming to the conclusion that cryptocurrencies are not a big threat. Or rather, in 2016, 2017, the entire headline was always the same, that criminals or fraudsters, which people don't use, would be using cryptocurrencies as a mean of money transfer and or money laundering around the world. But it appears that they apparently still like to use the paper money. So that's kind of the takeaway from it, is that governments were afraid of what we would do, but now it appears that they are saying that cryptocurrencies aren't a threat because they've been studying for the last 2 years, and it appears that criminals are still using paper money. Here's the actual article right here. Once again, I almost said I can't read Chinese, can't read Russian, but for those of you who can, here it is right there. In the never-ending Facebook's news, the U.S. House Financial Services Committee will host a hearing on Facebook's Libra cryptocurrency next month, one day after the Senate Banking Committee holds its previously announced hearing. Maxine Waters, chair of the powerful House Committee, announced the hearing on Monday. The Hill reported after calling on Facebook to suspend development on the project multiple times last week. The hearing is scheduled for the 17th of July, and no witness list has yet been released. She told CNBC on Thursday that it's very important for them to stop right now what they're doing so that we can get a handle on this. How amazing is that sentence? How amazing. I'm telling you, if Bitcoin had an office, how many letters of cease and desist it would have received already. Absolutely incredible. She said, we've got to, no, that's a lie. She said, we've got to protect our consumers. We just can't allow them to go to Switzerland with all of its associates and begin to compete with the dollar. What is she talking about? First of all, the entire protecting consumers thing, we've gone over this before on this channel. That's a lie. They don't care a gosh darn thing about protecting consumers. What they care about is protecting their pockets and their taxes. And they realize that Facebook, regardless of if we like it or not, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with in this space. What else is there? The Senate Banking Committee announced on Wednesday that it would hold its own hearing on the 16th of July, intending to ask Facebook's team about the project. The committee had already sent Facebook a letter last month outlining a number of questions revolving around Facebook's privacy and consumer data storage practices. Facebook unveiled Libra last week. We know all about that, so and so, yada, yada, yada. So on the 16th of July, there will be a Senate hearing, and on the 17th of July, there's going to be a congressional hearing about Facebook as well. Yeah, I mean, they are actually doubling down on how much that they hate all of this. I like this a lot. It's very important for them to stop them right now, what they're doing, so they can get a handle on this. Once again, a lot of people are saying that they think that Facebook's crypto may never actually get launched because there's so much backlash around the world. All the major countries that they were planning on launching in have all said no to them. Russia, India, the US isn't too keen on it. Australia said not a chance. And what other place was there? Well, I mean, Facebook doesn't even, rather China doesn't have Facebook, so that was never going to be a thing in the first place. But interesting to see if they actually do end up going off with this. Oh yeah, all the European countries also created a task force against Facebook coin. Good luck to them in their endeavors, and let's see if this actually ends up taking place. Or rather, the hearing is going to take place. Let's actually end up seeing if they are able to launch their little token. Next up, major global crypto exchange known as Binance has listed trading pairs for the USDSB, a Binance chain-based version of the stablecoin USD, known as USDS. The firm announced on the 24th of June, as noted in the statement, Binance has launched trading pairs for 2 trading pairs, including USDSB against major stablecoin Tether, as well as the USDSB to USDS trading pair today at 10 a.m., derived from the stablecoin USD, a stablecoin pegged 1-to-1 to the US dollar and developed by crypto startup Stably. USDSB was issued on the Binance's BEP2 token standard in early 2019. As previously announced, was issued, I assume they mean 2018. No, never mind. No, yeah, we're June. I thought we were still May. Anyway, as previously announced, USDSB has become the first stablecoin to be launched on the Binance chain. I'm tired of reading all these letters. The point is, they've added trading pairs to stablecoins, which is interesting. Yeah, this was making news everywhere that Binance, first of all, Binance has, I think, created like their own 2 stable coins. I think they plan on launching another one. They also have I think the Bitcoin pegged stable coin. And I think there's also an Ether pegged stable coin, not to be confused like with the wrapped Bitcoin Ether stable coins. Yeah, they added new stablecoin pairings to their stable coins. To kind of finish things off, California-based mining company, I want to say Plowton Mining. I feel like it's supposed to be Pluton. I'm going to say Plowton. Plowton Mining will build North America's largest solar-powered Bitcoin mining farm. The company confirmed in a press release on the 25th of June. Plowton, which is a subsidiary of Plowton Group Holding, says the site in the Western Mojave will feature around 49 acres, of solar panels generating 10 to 13 megawatts of electricity a day. The location was chosen due to its high annual quota of sunlight, which averages 70%, with the company planning to enter agreements with local utility providers to secure low-cost power for the remaining time. The preeminent combination of nature and technology will usher in the next stage of Bitcoin mining evolution, fulfilling the promise of Bitcoin as a sustainable, decentralized network of transactions, who said in the press release. They said, we are very pleased to offer people the opportunity to participate in the growing Bitcoin blockchain economy without having to purchase the mining equipment themselves. Yeah. And then also somewhere down here, it also says blah, 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 so and so. And so, yeah, a new study has revealed that more than 70% of activity, Bitcoin mining activity, already utilizes renewable energy, because there was something that happened first of all, that was a topic as well in 2017. People thought that people mining Bitcoin was going to destroy the earth. And lo and behold, the places that are actually mining Bitcoin the most, or rather the companies and corporations or the people with money who are setting up these Bitcoin mining farms, are doing so with solar power, with wind power, or hydroelectricity. And this is why we also had news about a week and a half ago of the countries who were trying to stop, what is it called? I think these companies were getting like tax breaks for getting cheaper electricity through the hydroelectricity or the wind power or the solar panels than they normally would have gotten. So countries are now trying to figure out a way to just charge them the full amount so that they can also profit from this little mining crypto venture as well. Anyway, it doesn't say anywhere explicitly inside of this, but remember we had news before about that other, we haven't heard about them in a while, that other guy who bought all that land in Nevada trying to create that gigantic, what was it, like blockchain city or something like that. I wouldn't be surprised if they were closely related, or even if in that blockchain city, which I assume is still being developed, would be kind of cool if we had some more news about that. If I assume that they're also going to be creating their own little or gigantic crypto mining farm, which will then resemble some type of a citadel. Anyway, yeah, here's the actual announcement right here for that happening. And I mean, it's kind of cool. I mean, this is kind of the way to go. It is very energy intensive. So if you can do it with solar power, by all means, please go for it. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. They are Mechanic, Anthony Charles, Nick Mangialavori, Arthur Yaku, Minting Coins, Jim Gardner, Jeremy the Photographer, Tom Sucks at Basketball, and Sam Skips Leg Day. Paxis, Vlad the Impaler, Cody, RF Dusty, Richie Rich III, Nick Kanaya, Setsuna, Nicholas, One Earth, One Piece, One Love, Crypto Artist, Cole D3D, Clara T. Snowden, Jeffrey Ramsey, Amy Starsheen, Yasha Harari, Rai Rai, singer-songwriter Mike Savitz, Carl Birchenoff, Mo Hammeroni, Crypto Joe, Wise Night Owl, Jared Schneider, L. Doug, Brady Niels, Crypto Beer Shipmate, Adobo, My Keto Kitchen, Professor Wally from Gunbout University, and Auspicious Agile and Blockchain. Thank you all very much again for watching and listening. At the moment, markets are doing pretty okay. I wonder exactly what effect this will actually have on the price of Bitcoin, as far as the Ledger X people being legally allowed to now have physically settled Bitcoin futures. I assume that this is also going to be a major thing as we go forward as well. A lot of people, when we talk about the scarcity of Bitcoin, it doesn't just come down to people also like buying it, hoarding it, buying fragments of it, keeping it away, putting it on a ledger, not ever using it again, whatever the actual case might be. There's also institutions who are also trying to get their spot in the I mean, there's so many things, so many derivatives that are going to try or going to be launched alongside Bitcoin to try and utilize Bitcoin, to physically use Bitcoin in their actual settlements. This is why we keep talking about that eventually we're going to have like the daily volume going through Bitcoin will eventually be as large, if not larger, much larger than its actual market cap. There are going to be so many things passing through Bitcoin to send value back and forth, and it's not going to just be people sending things or whatever, using it for Starbucks, whatever the actual case might be. It's going to be millions of dollars flowing through this entire thing. So then the end of that thought kind of comes down to one can only assume that the people from Ledger X probably also hold a large amount of Bitcoin, probably are trying to acquire more, and also the coins that they're sending back and forth through the actual contracts are probably not going to enter the open market, as more people are going to be trying to acquire more to be able to send it back and forth through these actual contracts. So what was my point? I completely lost it. It went out the window. I don't think it was that important. Was it that important? Something about money. Ledger X. Yes, there we go. I wonder what significant, if any, movement this will cause on the price of Bitcoin. This news kind of just came out, so I wonder if a lot of people even know that this is actually going to happen, because I would assume myself, as Ledger X isn't as well known as the New York Stock Exchange, it may not have that much of an insane significant effect, but I assume, you kind of get what I'm saying? It's cool that they got it first, but will this have a major effect on the Bitcoin price? Because I assume, or rather one should assume, that the New York Stock Exchange getting clarification or a thumbs up will probably have a bit more of a good movement on the price of Bitcoin. Anyway, I'm tired of mumbling. Thank you all once again for watching and listening. I think I'm hungry. That's what it is. It's dinner time. And I will definitely talk to you all soon. See you.